And we proved to
There you
the
go.
people we're not afraid to step up to the challenge.
We tried. We failed. It's okay.
Let's talk about Shaun King's shadowy $6.7 million
this one's interesting.
nonprofit grassroots law project formed after George Floyd's death. We just talked about Brett Favre, and we got our channel taken down for a week for a Fauci video where we talked about his history with AIDS. I don't want them to take this one down. Seriously, dude, they fucking transcribed our conversation because I changed the title twice. So they transcribed the conversation and was like, no, not talking about that. But on that one, we talked about Brett Favre.
I don't understand. Whatever.
Yeah, me neither, man.
I don't understand how that violated community guidelines. Whatever.
Yeah, well. So Brett Favre was taking some TAMF money, though. We talked about that. Now Shaun King's in something. Shaun King's nonprofit amassed millions of dollars in donations in the month following the 2020 murder of Floyd. While its signature project to review and redress prosecutorial injustices in 3 major U.S. cities floundered, while King and himself and his associates raked in hundreds of thousands. Chesa Boudin and then Boston DA Rachel Rollins. It was built to oppress them, and moving forward, we must build brand new pathways for truth, justice, and reconciliation. That's what they said about the system. They were given a speech talking about their new nonprofit. But more than 2 years on, the commission's online pages appear largely stagnant, much like the initiative itself. So they took in all this money. The single largest expenditure the Grassroots Law Project made in its first year was $2.6 million, which the disclosures only state went to bridge the gap between grassroots organizing and legal expertise to reform the American justice system. So there's like a lot of moving of money, and they didn't want to give up information at all, which they're supposed to. And they didn't. So there's a lot of shadiness going on in here, and nothing ever happened either.
Yeah, they had these 3 commissions in these 3 cities that were supposed to launch. I think in 2 of the cities they never even had a single meeting.
Yeah,
one of the and they're given, and that was like $500,000 that went into that initiative for those committees that didn't do a fucking thing. So like, I think it's the more we find articles like this, the more I realize that these charities and nonprofits are fucking cover-ups for like moving money around.
Or just getting money. People give you money and you don't have to spend it on anything.
You don't.
No one ever follows up.
Well, apparently people do, because people were following up on, I mean, there's, they talk about Documented, I think is the name of the nonprofit investigative firm. Someone followed up on the shit. Let's see. The
Boston District Attorney's Office told the Daily Beast that its commission unfortunately did not get off the ground, while the San Francisco DA's office said its committee had yet to hold a single meeting. Philadelphia DA Larry Krasner, whose exceedingly close political ties to King and one of his PACs have gotten him slapped with thousands of dollars in campaign finance violation fees. He did not respond to questions about the commission's status that were left with his office on his personal cell phone. In a statement to the Daily Beast, the Grassroots Law Project's representatives blamed the distractions of Krasner's re-election bid and Philadelphia's recent crime wave for the apparent failure to make headway on the project. He is today the only one of the original trio of prosecutors still in office. I wonder if the other 2 made off with their money, or if they were like, I gotta step down because we're busted. Probably made off with their money. So, like, we got a couple 100,000. We're scheming in other areas. It's all good. They also said that the COVID-19 pandemic was partly to blame for all 3 commissions' failure to launch. They got all this money and then blamed it on the pandemic. They took credit for Derek Chauvin getting arrested and charged and convicted for murdering George Floyd. Oh, they did? Yeah, that's what this article says. Oh, yeah, it was because of us that he went to trial or something? Like, yeah, they took credit for having helped ensure that Officer Derek Chauvin was arrested, charged, and convicted. Yeah, that's so vague. Like, okay. It didn't help. Sure. We don't need a nonprofit for a murderer to go to court. Like, it just happens. It's we saw that on video. I don't know that you necessarily, whatever. They said the initiative only accounted for around $500,000 of the $2.6 million figure. The remainder, they indicated, went toward various policy pushes and campaigns for prosecutorial leniency, phone banking, donations to other groups, and legal defense funds. So another welfare fraud, another charity fraud. Yeah.
They say that they paid King $104,000 in 2020. But the group's representatives told the Daily Beast his compensation has gone up to $250,000 a year, or twice the median compensation for nonprofit executives. So that's fun.
Yeah, so be careful of these charities. Whenever you round up at the grocery store to the nearest dollar at Petco to save a dog, think twice. Think twice.
They also show that they paid a nonprofit. The nonprofit paid $135,486 to the Social Practice, a consulting firm that handles the group's financials and which is based out of a box in the same San Francisco mail drop as the Grassroots Law Project itself. So they pay a consulting firm that's supposed to help them with their financials, and it's just them. They're just paying themselves for it because it's the same mail drop. That's crazy.